So you, who are reading this, are the same person you have always been, lifetime after lifetime, from the day you were created by Enki's team. That's when the avatar was created, and the fires of the divine beings of the Ka were glued together. All this became you. You got stuck in linear time, which is the agreed-upon concept how time works on this planet. And because Enki and the Sirians decided that a human body should only be able to reach a certain age and then die, or the Lulus would become too clever and able to figure it all out, you have died several times and lived again in a new body. Now, time on Earth is just a consideration and a mass agreement. It's not really how time works. All time is simultaneous, and therefore all lifetimes you've experienced, which all seem to be in the past, are happening now, in the present. This is why I've stressed that in the nanosecond 1987 to 2012 we have had the chance to heal along the lines of time, i.e. heal all our previous and future incarnations. If we do so, and patiently and bravely meet the challenges we have in this lifetime, we are healing our past and future, because now, at the end of a cycle, the so-called end time, all timelines merge, and the problems you had, let's say 600 years ago, are popping up in front of you in this lifetime, causing you problems. Problems from other lifetimes may very likely be surfacing as well. Resolve them, and you resolve the main negative impact your previous incarnations have had, and will have on you in the future. If you manage to do this, you go into the future with a clean slate and can start a life without the heavy baggage you've had to carry lifetime after lifetime because of inner conflicts and unresolved issues. This is why it's important to confront the dark side of ourselves as well, because that's where your freedom lies. Release what's there, and apply the 6 heart virtues to them, and they will dissolve from have been accumulated ridges of energy in your current and previous bodies. Your body will feel lighter and your mind so much clearer. You will become a happy human being, able to hold your frequency in spite of what is happening around you most of the time, at least, because you have very little left which will trigger negative emotions in you. Eventually, your previous lifetimes, one by one, will be resolved within the short breath of this current lifetime, which is an incredible opportunity and achievement, if completed, and you will become whole. This will even work with people who do not have this information, if they are prone to being problem solvers and are persistent in resolving the problems that show up in their lives. If we see them all as learning lessons, it's easier to look at the dark sides of ourselves as well, without feeling shame or guilt, which both are very destructive feelings. And remember, above everything else on this subject, never hold grudges, and forgive yourself and others. That will change you, even if it doesn't necessarily change the persons you forgive. But that's their problem, not yours. This is very important to keep in mind. Once you're a whole being again, so to speak, you will see a whole lot of opportunities open up rather than a whole lot of problems. You will more so become the master of your own reality, and you will much easier be able to anchor your thoughts into your reality and make them come true. This can be tricky at first, because that means that when you think negative thoughts, those may manifest as well. So again, no sloppy thoughts. The next time our body dies, we will have an immediate choice, something I brought up earlier. We can either go into the tunnel and be recycled again with full amnesia, or we can return to Earth by taking a new baby body, without first going to the amnesia station to help building the new Earth. Or lastly, we can slip through a hole in the grid and leave Earth once and for all, and find our luck somewhere else. But we are still in the 4% universe, albeit with new awareness, wisdom, and increased consciousness, so if we wish, we can dissolve our avatar and let it merge with the universal energy force again. By doing so, the fire composite will split up as well. This means that each fire who was attached to the avatar will now become its own personality with its own oversoul in the Ka, and each fire can now return to the Ka again, from where it was once created, and live there and explore it as she wishes. Other options would be to either stay as is, still being a composite of fires riding an avatar. If this was you, you would still be the same personality you are now, and be able to live both in the Ka and in the 4% as you wish. Also with the ability to split your composite fire at will and let each fragment live both in the Ka and in the 4%. Each fire fragment will keep, considering herself being a part of your personality as you are now. Although the split fire is originally her own personality, she is so used to being you that she considers herself being the same entity as all the rest of the fires, which is you. Another option would be to split up the fire composite and get rid of the avatar, whereafter each fire regains her own personality and creates her own avatar from 4% soul energy, thus being able to live in the Kai and the 4% back and forth or more accurately. At the same time, this may be scary for most humans in their current condition, because we are afraid to let go of our personality. By getting rid of the avatar and let each fire become her own ancient self, we do get rid of the personality we are possessing right now. However, each fire that will split from the whole composite will have a memory of your current personality, but will regain her own divine personality, which she had before she was glued to an avatar together with a number of other fires. However, although this may sound scary, we need to remember that we are still in the Sirian trap, and we are thinking like human beings. If we leave Earth, we are no longer human and it will become much easier to make such hard decisions. In fact, I am quite convinced that most energetic bodies who leave the Earth plane for good will choose the last option, which is getting rid of the current avatar that automatically splits up the composite fire, and each fire becomes her own. It's not going to be a big deal. Each fire remembering your current personality, but still being her own is like you remembering what you did yesterday. It's a memory from your perspective, and not your present now. That's how the fire, with her new personality, will experience it. She will remember how she was when she was a fire composite, i.e., but again, you will have a choice by then.